Welcome to another episode of Virtual Tour with Super. My name is Connie, and together with me are my co-hosts William and Joy.
Hello.
Okay, before we begin, we would like to congratulate the prize winner of last episode.
Yay! Congratulations!
Congratulations!
So, William, what shall we talk about today?
Okay, so today we'll be talking about the heart of Europe.
Heart of Europe? You mean Central Europe or Eastern Europe?
Actually, you got a very good guess. There's no clear definition on what exactly is the heart of Europe.
Okay.
Some people say it's Poland because it is very much next to the center of Europe, and if you look at the country's border on the map, it looks like the shape of a heart. Yeah, but to be more specific, today we'll be talking about the region which you guessed correctly, Central and East Europe. So we'll be talking about countries like Poland, Czech Republic, East of Germany, Slovakia, Hungary, and Austria.
Wow.
Of course, to most people in Singapore, we may simplify them as Eastern Europe.
Yes.
But Europeans actually will term this region as Central Europe. So you are correct in both terms.
Good.
Yeah.
So, how are we going to talk about so many countries today?
Well, if you have seen our Scandinavia video last time, we'll be doing the same, where we will bring out what are some of the key highlights of the region.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, let's start from food.
Okay, I knew that's coming. Okay, so we'll start from food. First, I will talk about some of the famous food of the region. Yeah, so let's start with the ingredients used. Okay, so in Eastern Europe, the most famous ingredient used in dishes is paprika.
What is paprika?
Okay. Joey, paprika is a kind of spice that people use in their cooking. It's a type of chili pepper, similar to capsicum, that is grounded into powder form.
Yeah.
It's very mild. It's not very hot at all. It does add a little bit of flavor to the food. In fact, you can find paprika almost everywhere, and you can buy it back to Singapore and present it as a gift to those people that loves cooking.
Yep.
Yeah. Wow, that sounds interesting. So maybe you can buy some for me next time.
Actually can. You know, like you can, like I heard you make chicken and fish on your own.
Oh yeah.
You can actually add some paprika.
Oh,
when you
really?
cook. Yeah. It does taste well.
Add to the taste.
Yeah.
I think okay because I like spicy also.
It's not too spicy.
Oh, really?
It's just mild. But you will definitely taste the flavor once you add it in. Yeah.
Sounds nice.
You got taste of the chili, but it's not hot.
Yeah, it's not hot.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, then let's talk about the soup. So the most popular soup in this region is called the goulash.
Goulash. What is goulash?
Okay, so it's a kind of meat soup. Usually they will cook beef cubes in it. Sometimes they will serve with pepper, tomato, carrot, and potatoes. Okay, so originally most people would say that it originates from Hungary, but now it's widespread in the region, so you can find this soup almost everywhere within this region. So like you can even find the Czech Republic's version of it, or you can find a Slovakian version of it. Yeah.
Okay, now let me introduce to you each country's special dish. Joey, do you know what is the special dish, national dish for Poland?
Could it be something related to meat? As I know, Eastern Europe people are all meat lovers.
Yeah.
You are absolutely right, because the national dish is called bigos. It's a combination of cabbage, meats, sausages, mushrooms, and spices, and it can cook for hours and sometimes even days.
Very long.
Yeah, very long. Yeah. So that's the reason why sometimes bigos can also use for the Christmas period, where they just cook one dish and then they just eat it for the next few
Whole
days.
season.
Yeah, the whole season. Yes. Okay. Next we have also the Austria. Austria is also famous for the Wiener Schnitzel. This is actually a breaded pork. Okay, they deep fried it. Goes with potatoes, vegetables. This is their favorite dish. You can find it in any restaurants.
Wow.
Wiener Schnitzel. Okay. Czech Republic also has their own favorite dishes like the dessert, especially. This dessert is called kolaki. It's a fruit pastry. It is pastries filled with all kinds of toppings like apricot, prune, poppy seeds, and also even cheese. It can be sweet and a bit of salty taste. Yes. And now, not forgetting Germany. Germany is a land of sausages. They call the sausages called currywurst. And if you are a beer drinker, every Eastern Europe country has their own brand of beers. And they even built a beer bike. A beer bike that sits around, for 6 or 8 people. And then they just pedal around the town area, old town area. This is so interesting, during the beer festival,
Yeah, sounds like Connie is a food connoisseur.
I noticed food everywhere I go, just like Joey.
Okay. But yeah, it's true, like what Connie just explained, like beer is almost everywhere. And in fact, if you heard of the name Pilsner, that was the pale lager, right? It's actually named after a city in Czech Republic called Pilsen. Yeah, so the origin of Pilsner comes from this place. Yeah.
Well, it sounds like a great choice of food. And if I'm staying in Eastern Europe, I need to sign up for Jane's session.
Okay, but food is just a small part of Eastern Europe. Like we also show you some of the key highlights in the region.
Yeah.
And these attractions will definitely intrigue you further.
Yes, I agree with William, because Eastern Europe always has a place for everyone at any time.
Definitely. Okay, let's begin with Czech Republic. Right, so in Czech, the most famous city is Prague, the capital. And when you visit the city, you definitely will have to have a look at the Prague Castle, the St. Vitus Cathedral. The Charles Bridge is also one of the most visited by tourists around the world, and of course, the most famous one is the astronomical clock that is still working after 600 years.
Wow, truly amazing.
Okay, let me bring you to Germany.
Yeah.
One of the cities that I like to highlight is Berlin. Okay, after the World War II, Berlin was separated to the West and East Berlin by the Berlin Wall. Now that the Berlin Wall was torn down, the city becomes very popular with tourists to visit the Berlin Wall and Charlie checkpoint.
Oh yes, I've heard about the wall from my Singaporean friend. Yeah.
Okay. By the way, do you know we actually have a piece of the Berlin Wall in Singapore? Have you heard of it?
Never. I have heard that there's a piece of wall that's written that is actually painted by one of the Singaporeans in Berlin. I saw that piece of work. Yeah.
Okay, but there is. What I meant was that the Berlin Wall, right? When they torn down, one of the fragments was shipped to Singapore.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think I heard of that. Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Actually, for our audience, right? If you haven't heard of this, there exists a piece of the wall in Singapore in NUS. Yeah, there's two pieces of the wall. There's up a hill, behind U Town in NUS. Yeah, so if you ever have a chance to visit NUS for some reason, you can go have a look. Yeah.
I'd love to go and see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, let's move on to Poland. Alright, so I think Poland, I would say a lot of people will agree that there's a lot of beautiful cities there. Usually we will go and have a look at Warsaw, Krakow, and Wrocław. Yeah. Okay. If you don't know that, usually people in Poland, they will pronounce the W as V, so that's how I pronounced it. Poland is a place with lots of history to tell, and unfortunately during World War II they also suffered the most, as we all know in history. So if you do visit Poland, we also suggest you to actually have a look at some of the remainders of this history, such as their concentration camps, to have a look and know more about how things happen, how people actually get on with life during and after the war.
Poland is also famous for their beautiful castles, like the Wawel Castle in Krakow. Okay, the Clock Hall, which is a marketplace in the Renaissance period, and now it's the place that sells lots of amber jewelries.
Correct.
And there is one place that is visited by millions of tourists every year, would be the Walishka salt mine.
Oh yeah.
This is actually 327 meters deep down and extends to over 287 kilometers. It is also under the UNESCO World Heritage Site.
Actually, I like that place. It always reminds me
Yes.
of like an underground crystal palace like that because everything is
That's
salt, right?
Yes.
Then they construct architecture based using salt.
Yes.
Yeah.
You know what my tourist told me? My tour guide told me. She says that if you take a breath, okay, you will be younger 7 days.
Oh, really?
Oh, I never-
Every breath you take,
I didn't
is
know that.
7 days younger.
I should be
Yeah.
more.
Because you know that how they preserve the salt, the wood in the salt mine. How the wood can be so nicely preserved is how the oxygen level. You see, so when you breathe in, you'll be 7 days younger.
So if I want to be younger by
You just divide out. How many? You want to go back to 21 years old? You just breathe more.
yeah, then breathe more.
1,000 times. Well, I think I need to take 2 weeks holiday to complete all these interesting attractions.
You should. Actually, there's more. We haven't even mentioned yet.
Yeah.
Like, there's still like, for example, Hungary. The capital is Budapest. It's very beautiful, and to tour Budapest, usually it's best to take a river cruise, so that you will see. Yeah, because there's a river that cuts the city into two.
Yeah.
Alright, so when you take a river cruise, you can have a look at both sides, the Buda side and the Pest side.
Yes, that's better.
Yeah,
Very nice.
yeah, and also of course, when you're there, one thing to look out for is the Hungarian folk dance show. So some people will have dinner and then they will also perform the folk dance during the dinner, that kind of thing. Yeah, so lots of things to try out. Yeah. Okay, not to mention also there is Austria. Austria, the two famous cities, Vienna and Salzburg. Alright, so in Vienna we have the Schönbrunn Palace. Alright, that's very grand, and if you have a chance to enter, you will see that there is like 1,441 rooms to visit. Okay, then in Salzburg we have the Mirabel Garden, where the Sound of Music movie was filmed. Alright, not to mention one of the most beautiful places that everybody always posts on Instagram is Hofstadt. Yeah, so if you look at this picture, yeah, Hofstadt is the most iconic place in Austria.
Yes. Okay, Joey.
Yeah.
Now we come to another interesting part of our tour for our ladies visitors. Okay.
Okay, I love
Which
to know
is-
more.
What you can buy in
Come on, it's
Eastern
shopping, right?
Europe. Okay. Okay, let's hear from a man's perspective of what is good to buy from Eastern Europe.
To be honest, I don't shop a lot.
Okay.
But when I bring tour groups to go and shop, right? Usually I'm the one that's empty-handed. But my lady tour members, they will always come back with a lot of bags. Sometimes they even buy one whole luggage to put their stuff. Yeah. But the most bought items that I've seen so far usually is the chocolate with there's a picture of Mozart on the
Yes, I
on
saw
the
that.
wrapper.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so and then like you mentioned just now, Poland, you can buy the amber jewelry.
Yes.
Then because they have the salt mine, so they also have the salt bath products, salt soap, and fashion wear. But I would say that everybody will definitely go to the factory outlet to buy fashion wear. Yeah, so like there's a factory outlet that is very near Austria. Okay, and you can find all kinds of your usual branded items.
Yes.
So it's a factory outlet, so usually the price is cheaper. Yeah. So in the factory outlet, you can even find discounts of up to 70%.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. To add on to William's list, okay. In fact, for ladies, we can actually find some skincare products or cosmetic products in their drugstores. Leather or casual shoes for all ages, especially winter boots. Is a good buy from Europe as well. Okay, for gifts, I would recommend truffles. They are packed in a nice bottle, small bottles. Or for foie gras. Foie gras is also known as goose liver. This is also very good. for gifts. Yes,
Yeah,
welcome.
yeah.
Yes, correct. However, if you're on tour, you may buy some tasty white or red wines or local beers to drink with your tour mates. Yeah. Okay.
Well, I'll be on the first tour once we are able to fly.
Okay, I'll bring you there.
I'll leave you there.
You choose one now. But yeah, that's about it for our highlights of Eastern Europe. So if you have enjoyed this video, please do like this video, subscribe to our channel and to our Facebook. Alright, so don't forget to stay tuned. We have some quiz questions right after this video, and if you can comment the right answers below to win a prize.
OK， 以上就是全部关于欧洲东部的内容。希望呢，今天通过我们的讲解，可以让你更进一步的了解欧洲的东部。如果你喜欢我们的视频呢，欢迎追踪我们的频道，以及关注我们的 Facebook， 还有为我们点赞。不要忘记哦，在视频的后面，我们还有一个有奖问答，在评论中写下你们的答案，并且来赢得我们的奖品。
谢谢大家，
谢谢大家，拜
拜
拜。